And they're away, and it's clean as it has been just about every other time. Off in order, it seems, as they go bouncing their way all the way down. And the lead's changed already. So the lead hasn't changed already, sorry. The lead almost changed, but didn't. So it's 1 from 2, which of course is Ongaro from Hal Figueiredo. It's associated from Techno. And Ongaro, a little tickle in the air there to say, a mistake already from Figueiredo, which drops him into the clutches of Ben Mohamed and the 4 car of Canas. So a lovely little break immediately for our reigning IC world champion, our Nitro world champion. And they sweep round in this first leg. Ongaro has a lead. Now, it is a situation where it's hard to really, really push. And already, I have to say, I think that slightly gaining back on him is Figueiredo. We can keep try and keep the leader in the shot as well, if possible, Ash. And you can see the top 4. There's a little bit of break. 5th place is 5. So they've gone off in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and there's a problem there for the 3. No, Ben Mohamed kind of drops out of that. And in fairness, Ongaro's made a little bit of a break as well. So Ongaro now has a little bit of a break. That's the all-orange machine of Hal Figueiredo. And then you've got Juan Carlos Canas. Oh, and Figueiredo's dropped out. So it's now Canas in second on the 4. Now, Canas has showed lap pace, but not great pace. But this is a racer through and through. Juan Carlos Canas, who has been the champion of this event. Won it at the Hoodie Arena a couple of years ago. So you have Ongaro, and Ongaro's also been a champion of this event as well. So they're both former champions. Figueiredo rolls in 3rd still. Ben Mohamed now in 4th. And then it's the 7 car of Kilic, then Boots, then Polito, then Coelho, then Ronefalk now in 9th. And Bermudez, the big loser, going down to last. Now, who's fell off there? Oh, it's from the other side of the track. It was the 9 car had a problem of Polito. So, leading now, Ongaro. He's got a lead from Canas, and this is kind of the Ongaro, Canas and Ronefalk battles of what really the last few years of European racing has been all about. And Canas, who's not really shown that much speed today, suddenly is able to look near him and see what he can do. So you get an idea of the gap now. We'll switch to our bounce camera, and there, bouncing first, it is David Ongaro, then it's Canas, there's Figueiredo, and behind them is 4th place man, the number 3 of Noah Ben Mohamed. So the lead was 1.8 seconds, and you kind of think that it's going to be hard to catch him up after this great start. So Ongaro leading the first leg. A little bit of battle here for 3rd and 4th. We're going to stick in second. Let's just drop back to 3rd and 4th, because it does seem that Noah Ben Mohamed is now putting a little bit of pressure. That's the X-Ray driver from France, putting a little bit of pressure on the Techno driver from Portugal, Figueiredo. We can give him the closest on the track at the front. Ronefalk remains 10th. Coelho remains 7th. So some pace at the back of the field not being realised and not really competing hard against Ongaro. Ongaro's lead's not massively extending. It was 2 tenths more last time. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the Techno of Figueiredo in focus. But there you can see Canas just ahead of him. And we are 3.5 minutes in. So about a third of the way down this one. That time round the lead went out by another 4 tenths. Quite ominous what we're seeing from Ongaro. Actually, this time it's quite flat actually this time. So he's now up and running. Now 2nd and 3rd are getting back close together again. Figueiredo has got back on the roll. Got himself slightly out of sequence. You need to be completely in sync with that ridge section as it comes and goes to you. Now Ongaro's made a tiny mistake and lost a little bit of his lead. Ongaro's definitely made a small mistake, not much. And so visually he's gone down a little bit from 2.5 to 2.3. Well, it's less than I thought it was. I thought it was a bigger mistake than that. It was visually slightly less. But it's now Canas in second. Just behind him in the orange machine, that is the 3rd place car of Figueiredo. In fairness, Noah Ben Mohamed is not being dropped. And they come round not even halfway. I think it's been a better lap again for Ongaro, and now the battle seems to be on for 2nd and 3rd as Canas is under pressure more and more from that's the S-Works, of course, of Canas, under pressure from Figueiredo. So it's Italy, Spain, Portugal, France, and then it is Turkey in the top 5. Still leading Ongaro. Now, interestingly, better lap for Canas that time in comparison to Figueiredo. It's not as close this time. Figueiredo will be disappointed. If he finishes third, Figueiredo's going to be disappointed. That's for sure. He started second. He was running well. They've given a bit of an advantage, I think, to more than you should ever give Ongaro. Lead now to come down a little bit. Canas is getting a little bit closer, actually. Well, that's going to cost him time. Let's move forward to Canas. Put it down to 2 seconds. It's a long 2 seconds, that makes sense. There goes Ongaro. And round on the camera, there is Canas. And Mohammed having a right old scrap at the moment for third and fourth. Let's drop back to third and fourth, having a right old battle between Ben Mohammed and a bit of a cheer as he almost got through. So Ben Mohammed gets through to third, popular with the locals and the X-Ray team and the French. So third and fourth is where the battle is at the moment with 4 minutes to go. Don't forget that 2.6 seconds ahead now is Ongaro, and then it's Canas. Ronefalk has been mired in 10th the whole way through. Even Ronefalk can't make up for a terrible start, well, a terrible starting position. Now, Canas is being caught again by the other two, which is the other two being the Techno and the X-Ray. So Canas now being caught a little bit by Figueiredo and Noah Ben Mohammed. Figueiredo in the orange car, Noah Ben Mohammed in the green and the blue. And also Birkin Kilic is being dragged along by... Oh, what a mistake. And now Ben Mohammed moves clearly into third place. Birkin... Oh, he's got it's battle, but Birkin Kilic and the other two held themselves up. So it's quite a big lead with 3 minutes to go for Ongaro. He's out to 5. A little bit that been down to kind of a loss of pace in many ways for Canas. Noah Ben Mohammed really showing some great promise, the young man, in the 3 car. Surprised us all. He didn't do much. His pre-qualifying on Friday was nothing special. And so he bang, first round, qualified. He scored second. It was a massive surprise for everyone, I'm sure, except for him. Third place at the moment. Fourth and fifth have got the distance. The lead for Ongaro with 2.5 minutes to go is 5 seconds. Now, in fairness, Ben Mohammed, I think, is actually beginning to gain on Canas, but whether he's going to have enough time to do anything about it, you'll see Canas probably in the exterior of the shot in a second. Yep, there he is, just flashing through. So this is the battle for third and second. Not gone well for Figueiredo in this one, second to fourth. Coelho's now managed to get himself up to sixth, which is where he started. The 11 car of Boots is in seventh. Actually, Boots has got a plain white body shell, so he's obviously decided to look at some body shell issues. Not got race paint on. More issues with Matteo Polito. It's all going quite well indeed for the 1 car. He's got a reasonably big lead. Big lead. That lead's not come down until 4.3. Got a real stability about this race now. Good news to know Ben Mohammed. He's got a back marker behind him. That's Polito. He's got a nightmare in his lap down. And that nightmare continues for Polito. He's upside down in a kind of a scrapey world of Lexan. So he's going to end up having to just throw this one away and hope for better tomorrow. So we've ended up with a kind of a rather dry stalemate over the last couple of minutes. They can't all be classics, and certainly there's some great driving here, 1 minute and 27 to go. But the only person who can stop Ongaro winning now is Ongaro. I think Canas might be quite chuffed with second place, to be honest. Think about it overnight. Not giving yourself too much of a handicap. As they all go round. Let's move to our leader, who's down by the tree camera now. Car number 1. Let's take the last couple of laps with Davide Ongaro, who has got something in the region of a 5-second lead, 4.5 seconds. Still Canas from Noah Ben Mohammed, from João Figueiredo, from Birkin Kilic, from Bruno Coelho. None of them really about to attack each other, so let's enjoy a bit of the masterful driving of a reigning double world champion. He's the reigning champion at 1/8 night train. He's the reigning champion at 1/10 four-wheel drive, which in many people would say is showing off. I wouldn't say that. I'd say it's indicative of how good he is. And we had a very nice chat with him earlier today. If you scroll back on the feed, you'll find it during, I think, round 2, I think, of qualifying, or round 3. We had a good chat talk about everything that's been going on with him in the last year or so. So last lap for Ongaro. He will have to complete it without mistakes because Canas gets the last lap. I think Ben Mohammed will get the last lap. Figueiredo might get the last lap. Well, Kilic got past Figueiredo, so Figueiredo's had a bit of a nightmare and gone under 6th, so something's gone off towards the end. However, there's no denying that the person who has dominated this final, he's led from the buzzer, to the surprise of no one, is Davide Ongaro. He was your pole man. He is now he's now your winner of the first leg of the A final of the European Championships. Davide Ongaro takes the A number 1 in absolutely superb style. First time these guys have been on the track today, so they're coming to it cold. And they're all away pretty cleanly. Everyone bouncing through, and looks like the first 2, 3, 4 have all got through okay. So it's Ongaro from Figueiredo. Figueiredo easy to see with that bright orange body shell. The Portuguese man on the Techno, of course. Ongaro, we all know, he's in that new scheme from last year, yellow and blue, with the associated third place. It is the 3 car of Noah Ben Mohammed with the X-Ray. And then it's the S-Works in 4th of Juan Carlos Canas. And I think the only change, 6th place, is Quello in the X-Ray has moved up a place. So already a slight separation of the cars. They're all running quite cleanly and not having too many problems. In fact, I don't think anyone's had a problem so far. They're all kind of running around. They've got separation just by the pure field spread. You go, a bit of the Techno there of Figueiredo on 2 wheels. But Ongaro is doing that thing he does where he's kind of, imperceptibly, but you can perceive it. But it's just very, very slow, eking away and getting ahead. Last time it was 0.653. This time it's going to be about 0.8. He's going to just get a couple of tenths each time. And Figueiredo's got to find a little bit of extra ground speed. He's got to find a little bit of extra push if he's going to put Ongaro under pressure and try to prevent the Italian from becoming the European champion in 2 legs. And in fairness, what actually happened in a moment is Mohammed hit in the head there. So Ben Mohammed there, I think we got that one, landed on him. Yeah, so Ben Mohammed landed on the top of the Techno. It's no one's fault there. It's just that is the definition of a racing incident. Now Canas is coming through again. He's got himself into 3rd. No, Ben Mohammed, despite the issue, has managed to get himself only lose a position. Right, so the problem we have, if you are a lover of competition, is that Ongaro's got 2.5 seconds ahead. So Ongaro is 2.5 seconds ahead. So he's lost a little bit in that last couple of corners. So Ongaro's lead, he made a minor mistake that's taken some of that lead apart. Figueiredo is not 2.5 behind in the Techno in 2nd. There's Canas. You see Ongaro going around that corner there. Oh, that's a waste of time. How? And then you've got Canas as well. So we're down 1.7. So it was a poor, I think it's a poor lap. It was a 35.1. So it wasn't a poor lap. It just wasn't as fast as some of the others we've been seeing. Really needs to be concerted effort. And I think the problem is that the following pack is slightly slowing each other up. And the following pack being Hal Figueiredo on the right of your screen, and on the left of your screen, Juan Carlos Canas, Noah Ben Mohammed holding on. So, that time round, 1/10 of a second only further out. So, they're holding the Italian, but he is still very, very hot favourite to take the crown. But on the advantage of these finals, they're quite long. Now, actually, Hal Figueiredo seems to have just managed to get enough breathing space from Canas to stop worrying about him and start moving forward. And the effect of that is he's got a little bit closer to David this time. So Davide, that lead's gone down again. So actually Figueiredo now is showing a bit of extra speed. I think now he's not bothering about Canas behind him. He can start moving forward towards Ongaro, and the two of them are getting closer. So this is what I thought was going to be an absolute foregone conclusion walkover for the Italian associated drivers, now being made into a real battle by the Portuguese Techno machine pilot. So can Figueiredo do what we don't really see very often, which is catch up Ongaro and overtake him on the track? It's going to be really hard because they're both running lap times which are pretty much on the edge, and we know that pushing at this track normally results in an accident. That time round went to 1.4, slightly better for Ongaro, 0.3 quicker. But Canas has been dropped, Ben Mohammed has really been dropped, and Quello is in 5th. So Bruno looks like he's going to have a medium finish here. Canas trying hard, but he just can't match the pace of the top two. I think Figueiredo is probably finding that Ongaro is frustratingly out of reach. He's can see him. He can see him all the time in his peripheral vision. But he can't ever get close enough, I think, to worry the Italian. That time round 34-1 again, another sort of half a tenth in favour of Ongaro. But I kind of felt almost on those last couple of corners he's got a bit closer again. So I think it's kind of an ebb and flow. And there's certain parts of the track where Figueiredo is just looking way quicker. And that isn't it. Oh, he shouldn't. That is the sort of thing he's pushing really hard. He's been trying to jump that corner of the ridge. And when you jump it, you save a couple of tenths a second. But when you hit it, as you see, it's an absolute disaster. So it was 1.5. This time will be a little more. Goes out to 2.1. But what's also happened, of course, now is Canas is right up his backside and challenging for the position. And that may slightly slow Figueiredo down as they come through the quad. So Canas will be in the back. It's quite. Figueiredo's got a really good line when he can make it work over the ridge, where he can jump over one of the corners, and it saves him a lot of time. But as you saw, he got caught out last time round and just cut it. It's really, really risky, and he's taking. Obviously, if you want to win an A final, you've got to risk stuff. You can tell how hard Figueiredo is pushing. I'm not overly sure how effective it's going to be because it just looks like Ongaro is serene in what he's doing. So naturally, if there's going to be an error, it's going to come from Figueiredo because he is absolutely on the limit, as you could see there with the fact that none of the wheels are pointing in the direction they should have been at that point, as he struggles to try and make that gain on the ridge, which he knows he can, whereas Ongaro now is already perhaps eased back by 2 or 3 tenths from where his maximum attack can be, because he knows he's got a lead, and that lead will go out this time to 2.7 seconds. Again, another slight error as maximum attack is maximum risk. But now, interestingly, it's Canas, and perhaps Canas can push forward for second place. He's got 1 second to end. Oh, look at that. 1, 2, 3. The rhythm wasn't quite there. The car didn't want to go in the right line. This now looks like, oh, and it's gone. Right, so Canas now picks up second. You can only push so far before you get caught out. Canas picks up second place. Figueiredo's third. But the big winner out of all this is obviously Davide Ongaro. Because as they've pushed, they haven't been any nearer. And Ongaro now sits there with a 3.7 second lead behind them. So we're looking at Canas, obviously, and Canas actually is breaking away from Figueiredo. And then we have Bruno Coelho in fourth, Norbert Mohammed in fifth, Birkenkoop in sixth, Bermudez is seventh, Elliot Boots is eighth, Ronald Felk is ninth. So I'm not really sure what Canas can do in the remaining 2.5 minutes. He obviously probably thinks he's got more of a chance. Good work, good driving there by Ricardo Berton. He's not really in it, so he got out of the way of everyone else. 34.3 for Ongaro. In fairness to Canas, he's just on a 33.9, which is lethally fast. And he's absolutely flying, but it's a bit too late. So Canas has found some real absolute flying speed. There's no point being fast now if you can't catch him up. If you can catch him up, it's every point. If you can pass him, even more point. But the problem is, if he doesn't, then of course Ongaro has won this European Championship in 2 heats. So Juan Carlos, last time round it was 3.2, and he's just made a little minor error. I think may mean it will still be something like that. You know, just the last moment, he ticked himself in the final corner, held himself for a few tenths of a second. Minute 49 to go. Out in front, quite serenely, is Davide Ongaro, looking to take this European Championship in 2. We always say we don't mind who wins the championship as long as they do it in 3 legs. So that is absolutely our mantra at RC Racing TV. But it looks like this may well be done in 2. Still lots of racing. We've got the junior final, we've got the over 40s final, they're one-offs, and the rest of the another round of finals. Not all the finals are decided, but the overall championship may well be decided in 1 minute and 17 seconds time. I can't see Canas. Let's shift to Ongaro, who's just up the road slightly, because now it's a situation where only a mistake by the Italian double reigning world champion. He's the reigning world champion for 1/8 Nitro, the reigning world champion for 4-wheel drive electric buggy. So he'll add a European, the second time he'll add a European e-buggy championship if he can just do the next 2 laps properly. The lead's gone out to 4.3. And what's come quite a strung out race. Figueiredo really tried. He gave it everything, but giving it everything on this track is really difficult. And eventually he was caught out by the real complexity of some elements of this track. It's really tricky up on that ridge line. It is an area where people can make big movements, but then you give a chance really for Ongaro to just rein it back by a couple of tenths, and suddenly he's in total harmony with the track, the tyres and the chassis as he begins his final lap. I've got no idea how many European Championships this is. It's not that many actually, because interesting, the one thing to remember is that Ongaro has never won the European Championship for Nitro for this class. He's never won the Nitro Euros. It'll be his home track in a few weeks' time in Chile, but for now he's got about 4 corners from becoming, for the second time, not in a row, the European e-buggy champion. Davide Ongaro, associated European champion, and didn't he deserve it? Great runs, 2 superb runs for Ongaro. Very appreciative round of applause for, again, a run which didn't feature any mistakes whatsoever. Second place is Juan Carlos Canas. Hal Figueiredo, great battling, good run, great entertainment in third. Coelho got up to 4th from the end. Bermudez was 5th. Elliot Boots was 6th. Ronefat was 7th from last on the grid. Birkin Kilic was 8th. Noah Ben Mohamed was 9th. Theo Lemarie was 10th. And it's Mattia Polito, Ricardo Berton and Danny Parente did not have a very good run and didn't get the trip. And that was your second A final. Noah Ben Mohamed has a clear run to the first couple of corners. And they go under. So it's a great start from the young Frenchman, but he's got Juan Carlos Canas behind him, and behind Canas is Remy Bermudez. That's Canas on frame now. There's your leader. Small movement through the field. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think Figueiredo's got up to 8th actually in the first lap, so that's not a bad start from dead last, which is 12th, of course. Only 12 cars running at this point. Nice break for Noah Ben Mohamed as he runs down into the bottom of the quad for the second time over the bridge, fires it back up again, and they'll come into the view of the tree camera now, and there's the rest of the field going through. Canas beginning to look a bit more dangerous and try and get out the back of Ben Mohamed. He might drag Bermudez and he might drag Coelho with them. That's the 3 chasers. 7th place now for Figueiredo. Great qualifying. Set of fires not really worked for Hal, and it's kind of been summated by the fact that he didn't even make the start properly this last one. Right, Canas really has closed right in on the leader there in the last couple of half laps or so. This is going to be a new experience of pressure for young Noah. He has to hold off Juan Carlos Canas. And round they sweep. Oh, look at that, Ben Mohamed now. It's just a little bit of momentum on the bridge. And now here's Juan Carlos Canas. A little bit of Tokyo drifting there on the second bit of blue. Ben Mohamed in the green, or the blue and the yellow X-ray. Behind him it's the S-Works, blue and red of Juan Carlos Canas. And you've got Remy Bermudez with the X-ray, and then you've got Bruno Coelho with the X-ray. And then behind them it's Kilic with the Mugen and Figueiredo with the Techno. But it's a really big ask for Figueiredo to get through the field and get to the front. He's doing a good job in fairness from where he started. And he's just dispatched Kilic to go move into 6th place. Sorry, I tell you, he's moving into 5th place, sorry. So Figueiredo now in 5th place. Oh, there, just a half a door open. It was like lightly open. It was slammed shut again by Noah, and Juan Carlos Canas wipes the blood off his fingers where he put his hand in that door and then relives another day. But no actual physical contact between the cars. Slightly dropping Bruno in the last couple of laps, but that could just be because Bruno had a minor bob we didn't see. Again, it's interesting that coming off the bridge, Ben Mohamed doesn't quite have the drive. Canas gets right behind him at that point. And he gets close. I think Remy Bermudez in the... up the inside goes Canas. He's got the move. So Canas gets the move done. And now It's a case of, will he be able to just push on and go? And my guess is yes. Because you don't let Juan Carlos Canas get in the lead of something and expect him to get easily caught up again. But it was a glorious period there for Noah Ben Mohamed. In fairness to Noah, he's not given up on this one whatsoever. Oh, a little minor error we saw on the camera there for Bruno. Figueiredo is in fifth, but his kind of progress has stalled a little bit now. Plenty of time still just 4 minutes down. Juan Carlos Canassi in the S-Works leading. Noah Ben Mohamed in second. Coelho in third, which is his best result so far. And we'll probably end up with a top 5 overall with that. Bermudez has been near about the front a couple of times, certainly qualifying, but it didn't quite come off. But it's a good qualifying position. Qualifying fifth for Euros. All through yesterday's 4 rounds of qualifying. Okay, Canassi's not breaking Ben Mohamed. So Noah doing a good job. Last time round, 34-8, 34-5, 34-7. So he's just a tenth or so for Canas. Oh, flat landing from Bermudez there. It's going to take a lot of speed out of him. So you've got Coelho now chasing down in third. And it's looking a little bit more now that Ben Mohamed is going to come under pressure from Coelho. And there's been a big accident that's involving Bermudez and Figueiredo. And that's probably put an end to any chance Figueiredo had. And it wasn't a great one of coming through. So the battle now is this battle for second in this particular final between Noah Ben Mohamed and Bruno Coelho, both on the X-Ray chassis. Coelho, the most versatile driver in modern RC, races everything in the orange car. He'll be racing 10th, he'll be racing on-road, off-road. Has been a European champion and a world champion at disciplines, including was European champion in 1/8 nitro and 1/10 nitro track. And they don't go much different from that. Hang on, yes they do. How about 1/10 touring car? How about electric off-road as well? Huge bastion of championships. And in fact, if he put his mind to it, he certainly has been before very high up in 1/8 nitro and very high up in everything else. The only thing I've not seen really ever go is 12th. It'd be interesting to see Bruno in 12th. But then Mohamed, youngster. Now, just to make this clear, that Ben Mohamed will be the junior European champion if he finishes where he finishes, not the person who won the junior race earlier. That was just a bit of fun. This is where the European champion is decided. Canas has got away, unsurprisingly. Oh, and that's bad luck for Ben Mohamed. Spun round into third. Now he needs to be careful not to lose any more positions, because it then gets a bit kind of like count-backy with what's going on with Figueiredo. But it looks like certainly JCC Juan Carlos Canas is nailing down second place in overall, because Ongaro's already won, of course. It's going to be, can Noah make himself third overall? I don't think it's possible with this current layout of results for Bruno to get third. Possibly, if Ben Mohamed had an absolute nightmare, might happen. So if he then dropped back several more places, then Bruno might pick up third overall. But it's not looking likely that Ben Mohamed is going to make those mistakes. He's not. He's just dropped a little bit off pace. Fourth at the moment is Birkin-Kilic. Fifth is Daniel Parente, and then it's Elliot Boots, Bermudez, Figueiredo, who lost his kind of momentum he had early on in an accident about 3 minutes ago, actually. Sounds like a different lifetime. Canas crosses the line with 2 minutes to go. First four are really separated. Just drop back one to Ben Mohamed for a second, then we'll pop up and see JC in a second. Oh, a little mistake there by Ben Mohamed. Perhaps he's going to let Birkin-Kilic have a go. You'll see Birkin in the background as they go round the carousel. So a little tiny error. Could that give Birkin the third position and then make my calculations really difficult? It's not hard at the moment. JCC absolutely nailing down the second overall in the championship. He turned up and said before he got here, he said Ongaro was going to win and JCC was going to be second. He go, yeah, fair enough. Yep, one car's going to yep, I can see that. He'd be second. But we've had a very exciting couple of days of racing here. Very unpredictable in the qualifying side. Now, Ben Mohammed down to 57 seconds. Just watching where our leaders are. So it's going to be kind of a split here. I'm not sure everyone's going to get 2 laps. Certainly, there's 2 laps left for some of them. Yeah, it's going to be quite close. I think there's a couple of laps to go for all of these drivers. Let's see if we can find one Carlos Canas. He's just going across the ridgeway now. Ash is about to go on to the first piece of blue paint at this point now. And in true curse the commentator style, as soon as he picked up and he put a bit of a slide in. And this is the S-Works driver. Obviously part of the elite of European racing. Getting the e-buggy to work. Won the e-buggy World Cup. It wasn't very well attended, but hey, he won it back in Portugal a few weeks ago. And of course we do have an e-buggy World Championship in Portugal, different track, in the September next year. So this is the last few laps. This isn't the end of the meetings. We've still got about 6 or 7 finals to go. They brought this one forward to make sure it wasn't affected by rain. So one Carlos Canas is going to take this third leg. Ben Mohammed just crashed, but unfortunately the other people crashed as well. So in second place will be Bruno Coelho. And looking back, it was nearly a change at the end there, but both Kilic and Ben Mohammed crashed on the last lap about the same amount of time. Ben Mohammed got third, and then you have Kilic in fourth. Fifth was Danny Parente, sixth Remy Bermudez, eighth was Elliot Boots, ninth was Theo Lemarie, then Hal Figueiredo just had no luck, I think, in any of the finals.